Hey guys, this is the December 2020 budget review and the last one of the year. I will just be doing the standard budget review type stuff here, whereas I will be making a separate video that's going to be end of the year stuff that compares beginning of the year to end of the year. Before we get any farther, I want to mention to you guys our sponsor today. If you'd like to support the channel, this video is brought to you by Robinhood. Robinhood is an investment and stock trading app that has no fee trades. In the description of this video and in the pinned comment, I will put a link to Robinhood. This is a way for you guys to get totally free money and to support the channel. If you follow that link, you're a new customer and open an account with Robinhood, and you link your bank account, then you'll get one free stock worth up to $500, and I'll get the same thing. So free money because you don't have to put any money into it. All you have to do is link your bank account to it, and you'll get one free stock. I'd appreciate you guys doing that to support me and the channel, and let me know down in the comments what stock you got. All right, so going down here, first we're going to look at income, and no paycheck because I'm not working, no referral income this month, and then I did get more unemployment than I expected. So when I made the budget for December, I didn't actually look at how many weeks there were in December. So I just planned it for 4 weeks for unemployment, but I actually got 5 weeks of unemployment. So that's why that is more. And then down here with income, the $8 random income is $5 from Nielsen, which is the, I think it's generally TV, but they do surveys about different things. So $5 for that, and then $3 for coins. Now, offhand, I don't remember if it's $2.64 or $2.46, but I actually, at the end of the year, every year, I cash in my change jar at Coinstar, and it came up to one of those two amounts, and they just rounded it off and gave me $3. So $5 plus $3, that's the $8 there. Interest income is actually just under $6. That actually went down a little bit this month because interest rates on my savings account were cut again. And then the return to purchase here is a combination of a couple of things. About $2 or $3 of this is from my renter's insurance because I only needed it through the 18th of December. They took out the full amount at the beginning of the month, and then they credited me back some of this as well. The other about $15 of that is face wash that I bought back in August. I had an issue. It came it was different than what it was supposed to be, and the package was torn open and the thing was leaking everywhere. It actually took 4 months to get a refund through PayPal from that, but I did finally get it. Looking down here, car insurance is right on. So then looking at the gas and fuel, that 169 is quite a bit below the 200 I budgeted, but keep in mind that when I budgeted that 200, it was just kind of a wild guess as to what I would be using. And that's because I knew that I'd be driving back and forth from Columbus to Parkersburg, just getting the rest of my stuff moved. So it is quite a bit lower. And I did actually get gas today, filming this on December 31st. And that is like $20 or so of this. So that'll help with next month's budget because I currently have a full tank. With parking, this went over $1, and I think I might have mentioned this in last month's video, but essentially I paid $36 for a prorated first month and then a $5 one-time deposit for the key. So this will go back to normal next month, but that's why it's $1 over. Electric, again, I'm not really sure what's happening with that. My electric has been really high the last 2 months. But of course, now that I'm in my new place, I'll just get my final bills, but I won't have any more after that. Internet, right on. Phone, again, I don't know what's happening here. This seems to go up every month. I just haven't had the opportunity yet to look into what's going on with it. Gas is right on. Loan is right on. Okay, so fast food. This is going to take some explanation. You guys don't kill me yet. Let me explain. So for the last since April, I've been using my per diem card, and I have maybe like $6 or so left on there. I have to check that balance, but essentially I've run out of money on it. So I'm using actual real money to buy food, and so here's what's happening. Uh, I did spend $119 in groceries. That is accurate. Um, Really, when I set that $75 budget, I think that must have been what I budgeted in previous months, just in case I needed to use real money instead of the per diem card. I didn't set this for what it would be for like a normal month, and that's why that's over. So we'll have to readjust this next month since I'll be buying it, all of the groceries with real money. And then restaurants, I mean, okay, that's fairly, I mean, that's within the budget, so I guess that makes sense. And then fast food. So it's more than double the budget. And let me tell you what's happening here. So essentially, it's kind of the same thing where normally I would buy fast food with the per diem card. Um, so obviously I've been spending money on it. But there's another thing that happened, and that is that I stopped drinking caffeine. And that caused a lot more issues than I thought it was going to with my budget. Because it used to be, I'd just buy like 2 liters at the grocery store. That would be counted in my grocery budget, and that was it. But now what has started happening is I've allowed myself a minimum amount of caffeine a day, usually like the amount that's in like one large sweet tea at McDonald's. So what has happened is that my fast food budget has gone out of control because I have, and you'll see down below too, this also applies to the snacks budget at the gas station. So instead of just buying this at the grocery store where it's fairly cheap and bringing it home with me, um, I have been either going and grabbing something out of the cooler at the gas station or going through the McDonald's drive-through and getting a sweet tea every day. Now, you see that's caused a problem with costs. It's also going to cause a problem with calories because that's a whole lot of empty calories. So I kind of made a compromise with myself. I'm back to buying Diet Pepsi, although it's not good for me, but I'm just consuming a much smaller amount now. I have a little 10-ounce cup that I use in the house, and I can have 4 of those a day. One with breakfast, one with lunch, one with dinner, and one for a snack or with a snack at night. So 40 ounces a day, and that's going to slow down that consumption a lot, but it should help fix the fast food budget and the snack budget for next month. From now on, those 2 liters are just going to go into the grocery budget, and then we'll just set the grocery budget for next month at an amount that's like appropriate for a full month of groceries. And then, so gifts and donations, nothing there. I did have counseling one time at the beginning of December, and then that's over with now. So that's another expense that I'll be able to cut. Now, to tell you what's happening with the gym here, I believe it's going to be $43 a month. I'm going to have to double check on that. But they had a Black Friday special, and on December 1st, I bought that special. So it was 2 months and then a month free. So I have actually paid for December, January, and then February's free. So you won't actually see another charge of this until March in my budget. And then you do see here mortgage and rent, and this is all screwed up. So the 401 or 402, that's what I owed at my Columbus apartment, and I did pay that. On top of that, you see 250 here, 402 and 250 added together. And the way that this is going to work is that with the money that I'm making from YouTube, I'm putting that toward rent because it's my biggest expense. Now, I only had about $56 and something in the business checking account at the end of this month. So I just took 50 even out of that, and my rent is 300. So then I went and got 250 out of my actual checking account, in order to supplement that and make rent for January. The reason that it shows up on December's budget is because the banks are closed January 1st. And I talked to my landlord yesterday, and she said I can't pay it on the 2nd. I have to pay it tonight on the 31st. So for me, that sucks because it shows up in the wrong month on here. But essentially what's going to happen is I will be taking the money that I make from YouTube that sits in the business account and paying as much as possible toward the rent. And then only the remainder of the rent is going to come out of my actual money, my personal money. So this is going to be a little bit funky for a while. But after a while, you won't even see rent on here because it's just going to be covered by the business every month. The renter's insurance is $6. That was right on. This is another expense we'll cut next month. Storage is right on, as is business expenses. The $254 is for an entire year of the post office box. I know I've mentioned a couple times on here, but I will be making just a separate video to announce it to everybody. But I will be able to have you guys send me stuff. And then, oh, and that was a deal too. If you paid for 12 months, you got a 13th month free. I have spent about $9 and something on laundry, which is more than I was expecting. So I'm considering that I'm going to have to raise this budget for next month. And while I definitely need clothes, I just didn't have time to even look for them because I was just so busy. And then with stuff for mom, the $65 is for her storage rent, and I paid that. Everything that is above that were storage containers, which I've been telling you guys, I've been buying those and using them instead of moving boxes because I think they work better for me to move my stuff. And then once it's down here, I'm going to unpack and sort through things. And then I'm going to reuse those to pack her stuff that we're moving out of her storage unit. So that's why it's technically for mom. Now, you see I went way, way over in everything else. And the first thing that we're going to have to look at here is home supplies. $621 of this. The reason that this is so high is that I had to buy appliances for my new place. And I had bought the stove and the microwave in previous months, and they just showed up as home supplies or home improvement. But I had to get a refrigerator, and that was really expensive compared to everything else. It was somewhere between $400 and $500. So that's the majority of what this is. So with everything else, the car wash and detail, I didn't even want to get the car washed, but I had to in order to be able to pay for using the vacuum with a card because I never carry cash or coins with me. And basically, because I got the car so dirty inside, moving all the stuff, when I went to actually move my hanging clothes, I didn't want to get them dirty, so I needed to sweep it out inside. Service and parts is for air for the tires, because for the third time this year, my tires have been low. I don't know what's going on with that. I thought it was due to the weather change, but it keeps happening now. And finance charge of $23 is the interest that's charged on my credit card, and the service fee of $3 is for the two money orders combined, the service fees on those. Now, snacks is $54, which you see is kind of high. We talked about that up above. That is partially because of the caffeine thing and partially because when I was making those trips back and forth, I would stop along the way for caffeine or a snack or to grab something for the ride back home. Home improvement and home supplies. I'm going to try to tackle this all together because this is just a lot of stuff. Normally, these are like 2 or 3 items in a month. These were a lot. So I got a washcloth, laundry supplies, like bleach, detergent, fabric softener. I got a compost bin. Of course, the refrigerator is the biggest chunk of this. I have gotten some dowel rods and S hooks to build some stuff. I've bought some missing parts that I had for some shelving for the office. Um, Really, normally I can account for all of this stuff. Oh, and I had cleaning supplies are in there for the old apartment and for the new one. The drip pans that I had to buy for the old apartment. There's just been a lot this month. But the reason those are so high is because of moving. There might be some either next month or spread out throughout the next few months, just because I've got a few things left to finish here as far as I'm like building a closet and a couple other small things. But for the most part, those are all like one-time expenses. And then personal care is kind of the same way. I stocked up on stuff before I left Columbus. So I did buy a lot of items at Target. These are all just like everyday toiletry items, as well as I bought hair product because I was out of that. Last time I bought it, I think I was in Oklahoma, so it's been a few months, and waiting for that to get to me in the mail right now. And then hair looks super high, but that is actually $40 for a haircut, and then 35 plus tip, and then my eyebrow wax, which I don't remember how much that is, plus a $5 tip. So $10 of that is tips. And I should be good on the eyebrow waxes for a while because my hair doesn't seem to grow out during the winter and then grows like crazy during the summer. So until spring, I should be good on that. And then transfer to cash spending. $20 of this, I just went to the ATM and got $20 and then took that to the laundromat to get quarters. I did record the actual cost of the washer and dryers here, so that's accounted for where this money went to. And then the additional $1 is because they undercharged me when I paid for the parking space. They told me one amount, then it was like $1.42 more than what they actually charged. So I just put the dollar in my wallet, so I have some cash, and the 42 cents went in my change jar. The last piece here is the hotel. And this is something that I'm going to have to wait until places reopen in January to go deal with. But I was charged $64 that I shouldn't have been. Essentially, a friend of mine who, she always borrows money from me and she always pays me back with interest. So like, I'm not worried about it. But she checked into a hotel and then they wouldn't let her check in because she doesn't actually have a credit card. Even though she wasn't paying, she was using rewards points to pay. They had to have a credit card. So I let her use my credit card. Like I just sent it over to the hotel directly. And they were not supposed to charge it because they also charged her when she left. So they charged me and her, and I got to call the hotel and dispute it. She's offered, I haven't told her yet that they charged me, but she said if they do end up charging me, that she'll just Venmo me the money. So, I mean, I'll get it back, but it's just, I would rather deal with the hotel and have them, take it off there since they shouldn't have charged me in the first place. All right, so here next is the income by merchant. ODJFS, which is Ohio Department of Job and Family Services, the overseers of unemployment, that is 98%. And then other is 2%. So it's unemployment, return purchases, which is the face wash that I got refunded and the partial refund for renter's insurance. $5.75 interest paid, $5 for Nielsen, and $3 in coins. Then on the net worth graph here, we can see that not a ton of change. Looks like the overall net worth did go down slightly, and the debt looks about the same. Assets did go down. So let's check out the numbers here at the bottom. So you can see that assets did decrease. However, debt also decreased. The decrease in debt is $78.92. That's not as much of a decrease as it usually is because remember that $60 some was charged to the credit card from the hotel. So if I just add 60, that'd be like 140 some dollars difference. And that's more like what it normally is if I'm just paying the minimums. So I will get that fixed for next month. You do see that over last month, it is showing a decrease in net worth, which is what it showed in the graph. But there are some corrections that I've got to make to this number. Primarily, one of my investment accounts has 48 cents more than it's showing on here, and another one has 53 cents more than it's showing on here. My checking account, because I just withdrew some money today, has $277.82 less than it shows here. And then I have to add in my per diem cards and my gift card that I carry with me. Just to let you guys know too, with the grocery budget, I did use $5 Kroger gift cards, 2 of them. So on top of the grocery budget, you see there were 2 of the gift cards that I've been counting in this net worth that were used toward that. So with all of those adjustments made, that makes the net worth for December 2020 negative $145,199.05. That's a decrease in net worth over last month of $1,997.64. So I haven't had to tap into savings at all, and I've got plenty of money, even after paying my rent today, to get at least to the mid-January, and I've got 2 more direct deposits from unemployment coming in before then. Essentially, this difference right here of the roughly $2,000 is just that I don't have extra money sitting in my savings account now, that all that money was spent off in moving expenses, but now I'm just going to be surviving basically off of the unemployment. Sort of living paycheck to paycheck, but not actual paychecks, just when that money is deposited with the money that I have in savings. And like I said, I haven't had to tap into that. So hopefully, unless anything crazy happens, I won't have to. So this is probably the worst of all the months that you'll see. And then I'll be able to cut the budget quite a bit again for January's budget, and things should start getting easier from here. Especially, and I forgot to mention this, but especially because with the $600 stimulus check coming, that's going to pay for 2 months of rent for me. So for 2 months, that'll be my biggest expense out of the way. So anyway, guys, don't get too down about this. I think it's a rough month, but pretty much things are going to be on track from here on out to get by just on what I'm making from YouTube and from unemployment.